Notre Dame Athletics Director Pete Bevacqua is making a media run on Monday, and then he's also holding a press conference Tuesday at noon Eastern. Blue and Gold will of course, have full coverage of that. But after Bevacqua was on the Dan Patrick Show, we wanted to talk about the key points from that press conference. And Patrick, an incredible interviewer, I thought did a great job asking some hard, direct questions. Patrick did ask about Notre Dame's relationship with the ACC. That was the biggest thing that I learned from this. And folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel. Tyler, he said, quote, strained, but not irreparable. What was your thoughts on this? And what else did he have to say?
Yeah, and before that, Bevacqua went out of his way to say that there has been some permanent damage done. And then, like you said, Patrick's the great interviewer that he is. He followed up and he said, "What do you mean by that?" That's when Bevacqua said, "Yeah, it's strained, but it's not irreparable. It can be fixed, but I think it has to be fixed because Notre Dame is in the ACC for 24 of its sports, like Bevacqua mentioned in this interview. So, yeah, Notre Dame is the partial member, and I think that's why in football, and that's why it was easy for the ACC to just hammer Notre Dame. You saw it. You guys all saw it in the lead up to the selection process. The ACC had Miami's back. The ACC did not have Notre Dame's back. And it was a little bit interesting because there is that partial membership there, and Notre Dame does play 5 league games, puts eyes on the conference, mind you. Every time Notre Dame's playing a Syracuse or a Boston College or someone like that, more people are watching because of the Notre Dame factor. And I think Bevacqua felt a little bit slighted by the conference in that, hey, he called Notre Dame the ACC's number one business partner. And that's no way to treat your number one business partners. Just clown them on social media, make them look like they're not even a part of this race. And Mike, I think that's the biggest thing from what Notre Dame did and what the ACC did is Notre Dame never said Miami is a bad team or never tried to make Miami look bad. The ACC did it at every single turn. And you heard from Bevacqua today publicly that he did not like that. Notre Dame did not like that.
Yeah, I thought it was weird how much the ACC politic. Like, we're in a sport where you have to, like, Marcus Freeman has to go on the Big Ten championship game pregame show and politic. Like, that's such a weird thing that we have in our sport. I saw a tweet earlier today that was like, I guess Division III just uses a computer poll and that's how they figure out their playoff. Like, there has to be some change. And speaking of, quote from Pete Bevacqua, I think 16 is the answer. And then to paraphrase, overwhelming majority of the management committee agrees with him. Now, a lot of people get confused about this. Pete Bevacqua was not on the college football playoff committee, but he is on the committee that like oversees the college football playoff. I think that's two important distinctions, but I guess everyone on that committee does like 16 teams, which of course Notre Dame would be in. I just like, man, if you go to 16, then number 17 and 18 are doing the uproar and the complaining, but it feels like you get to 16 and then there's nothing past that. Now, what does that do for conference championship games and the importance of those? Who knows, Tyler?
Yeah, and that's why Pete Bevacqua plainly said in this interview, I'm in favor of 16 teams. It feels like a lot of other people are, and we're pushing in that direction. But to get it changed as soon as the 2026 season, he flat out said, I don't think it's happening. I think you're going to see another 12-team playoff next year. And to your point, Mike, the NCAA basketball tournament has 68 teams, and there are still people saying, oh my gosh, this team didn't get in. Why did that team get in? It doesn't matter what the number is. There are always going to be complaints. But this year, Notre Dame was that odd team out, and Notre Dame has the complaints. And Pete Bevacqua said it in multiple places now. He felt like the rug got pulled out from underneath the Irish, and that much is true. And I do want to bring that up in this video because that was a big part of the Dan Patrick interview was Notre Dame is sitting here almost 24 hours after the fact, still in shock that it could be in every single rankings leading up to Sundays in that top 10. Don't have to worry about 11 and 12 because, you're solidly in that top 10. Tulane and whoever's not going to take your spot if you're in the top 10. And then Notre Dame was out of the top 10 just like that. Snap your fingers. From 9 to 11, in a span of 5 days, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And mystified, I think, is one of the words that Pete Bevacqua used, and I think he's right to say that.
Yeah, Dan Patrick said, "Well, what do you say to the people who, call your decision to, and I say your decision like Notre Dame's decision, which, by the way, Eric Hansen got on this channel yesterday in a video that popped off, by the way. It's like 50,000 views and counting, and wrote it at blueandgold.com what he was hearing behind the scenes. And Pete said, like, he basically confirmed Eric's report, insider report is 100% accurate, that the captains and the team, like captains and like, I would say like key underclassmen, key non-captains basically were like, we don't want to play in a bowl game and that team not represent what we've done this season. I guess there would have been a lot of opt-outs, I suppose. I'm not 100% sure there, but I thought that was notable. And then, yeah, Patrick asked, like, what do you say to the people who say, oh, this is sour grapes, you skipping the bowl game? He said, I get why people think it's sour grapes, but it's disappointment. And then he went back to the rankings. The rankings can't just be musical chairs at a fifth grade birthday party. What happened to us was alarming, which we were screaming about this on our show Sunday. Like, get rid of the Tuesday show. It's ridiculous. Even Kirk Herbstreit said that, and he works for ESPN. And Pete does love brown sugar Pop-Tarts, so it's not an indictment against Pop-Tarts. So so much to discuss here. I mean, the MOU thing that we talked about on Sunday that Ross Dellinger of Yahoo reported, Pete didn't want to go into too much detail about that, but he did confirm that moving forward, if Notre Dame is ranked in the top 12, they are guaranteed a spot, which is nice, but also the committee would just finagle around that if they don't want Notre Dame in the field. By the way, as we're recording this, I missed this in the interview, but he did say, quote, permanent damage regarding the relationship with the ACC, but would not agree to irreparable damage. Pretty strong words.
Yeah, on the bowl thing, there's a lot there. I was going to start with something that you mentioned, something easy. Has nothing to do with Pop-Tarts. Pete Bevacqua loves Pop-Tarts. He said the brown sugar ones are the best. But with that, I think it's important for the people to know that this was not – when you see that graphic that Notre Dame put out there, it was not the administration hard line shutting the thing down. We're not playing in a bowl. Like you said, Mike, and like Eric Hansen reported, this was a team decision. And when it says as a team right there in the first three words, you have to take those literally because, yeah, the captains, the leadership committee, the players at Notre Dame got together and said, if we trot out there, this is not going to be in the same vein as what we did for 10 games in a row to put ourselves in a position to make the college football playoff. We thought we were going to make the college football playoff, and we didn't. Now we don't want to go to play a game. No disrespect to Pop-Tarts, but we don't want to go play in a game that is sponsored by Pop-Tarts when we thought we were going to go to College Station or Norman to go play for a national championship. So that's important. And yeah, it is a little bit of sour grapes though, because you could still play this. Florida State still played 2 years ago and got kicked the crap out of by Georgia. I don't think Notre Dame was going to lose big to BYU, but what would a win over BYU have done? Like, not much. Maybe a month from now it'll feel different, but like right now, this team didn't feel like suiting up and playing in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. And make fun of them all you want, but put yourself in their shoes, and maybe you see that side of it too.
You just compared to the of course the Florida State thing, but that was still 4 teams, and like those New Year's Six bowls still were something. They are obviously now just a part of the playoff, and like the bowls outside of the 12 team are just they're a bunch of crap. Now, if you want to talk about like, hey, the 15 practice, what's up?
If the biggest bowls that we've got are the Pop-Tarts Bowl and the Cheez-It Bowl, like, is Texas and Michigan supposed to be excited to go play for the Cheez-It Bowl?
Tyler, I don't watch any like these bowl games. They're I mean, it's all opt-outs and like, they're nothing. Like, I used to love watching all those bowl games as a kid. Like, you win the Rose Bowl, you win the Sugar Bowl outside the national championship. That was kind of like a mini championship. Like it kind of was. Now, yeah, those bowl games, and you win what did Notre Dame win? The Sugar Bowl and the Orange Bowl last year, but it's just like it's a college football quarterfinal and a semifinal. Yeah, there's so much like people want to talk about Auburn getting bounced out in 2017 after losing conference championship game. Like the 14 playoff, like they use that as a data point. Like the 14 and the 12 team, it's just a completely different worlds. And maybe we have a 16 team coming soon. That's what Pete Bevacqua said. He did say he's pushing for it. And if I remember correctly, he's pushing for it in 2026, but he thinks it's probably going to be a 12 team. But yeah, 16 teams is what well, I'm sure Freeman does too right now, but Pete Bevacqua talked about. All right, that's going to do it for this video. More coverage to come at blueandgold.com. We'll have more from Bevacqua's press conference tomorrow, noon p.m. Eastern time, and I believe we'll have a show tomorrow night. Six-pack show Wednesday, so much more to discuss from the fallout of Notre Dame being left out of the college football playoff and, of course, them skipping a bowl game. Hit the thumbs up, folks, and we'll catch you next time.